Now let's start with the most obvious thing, which is getting the current amount of fixed tokens in our exchange and the current amount of ether in our exchange. And to do that, I've prepared the functions here in our app.js, and here are the exchange specific functions, and we are going to fill in refresh balance exchange and the init exchange functions. Now, to get the balance of the tokens and ether in our exchange, that is extremely straightforward. First, we have to get the exchange instance, and then we call both the get balance and the get balance in way functions. And I've already prepared that, and I will show it to you in a step-by-step manner. Now, first we get the exchange contracts instance, then we call the get balance for the fixed supply token, and we are going to call this a symbol name for our fixed supply token always fixed. Obviously, if you want to have more than one token, or if you want to work with different tokens, you would have to make that dynamic. But for our example, we will work only with fixed supply tokens called fixed. So in this case, we get the balance of the fixed tokens, and this will take the current account and see how many fixed tokens the current account has in our exchange. And then we assign the value to the element with the ID balance token in exchange, which is here balance token in exchange. And the next thing is we get the balance in way, and we assign it to the element with the ID balance ether in exchange, which is this one. Balance ether in exchange will have the amount in ether because we call the web3 from way function and we convert this amount to ether. Now, if there's something happening, we have a catch function and we output the error on the console. Obviously, if we want to call this function, or we want to show the balance at the beginning during startup, we have to call this function during the startup. And I will just update the init exchange functions here with three functions that we want to call. The one is refresh balance exchange, which is this one. Then I've also added print important information, and this is mostly for debug reasons. So I want to know what is the address of the exchange, I want to know what is the address of the token, and I want to know how much balance I have. And this is really just for this course, for this tutorial. I wouldn't have this in a normal application. And then at some point we also want to watch for exchange events, and this is something that we're going to do in the next lecture. But for now, let's see where we have to call this init exchange function. If you remember back to the manage token HTML site, then at the very bottom we have this script that loads the init manage token after the site is loaded. And similar on the index HTML site, we want to add this script here and call init exchange. Now let's see if this is working. And what we see here now is that our Webpack in the background automatically compiled and reloaded the page. Now we have 0 fixed tokens in the exchange and we have 0 ether in the exchange. Before it was just an empty, that it wasn't anything here. Also, the important information, again, this is just for the purpose of this course. The whole side panel wouldn't be here normally in a normal exchange app. Now in the next lecture, we are going to start depositing tokens.